Here's a routine that combines some foam rolling and stretching for the lower body. I hope you enjoy it. Thumbs it up if you do, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with me in the comments how this felt. All of the info about what foam roller I use is in the description box below. I will see you on the mat. We're going to start off on the floor in a bridge pose position initially. So make sure that your lower, middle, and upper back is on the floor, and keep your feet hip distance apart. Root down into your feet. As you draw your tailbone under, very gradually lift your pelvis up off the floor like you would do a bridge pose in yoga. Then you're going to slide your foam roller under your pelvis. So you're going to rest your pelvis on the foam roller. So pretty much where your upper glutes are and your lower back is. It should feel like it's a comfortable position to rest in. Engage through the abdominals and make sure that both of your shoulder blades are resting on the floor. Now you can either rest the arms at the side of your body, or you can like gently hold on to the foam roller if you want to. You're going to lift the legs up off the floor. And now we're going to extend one leg to the ceiling and one leg out to the floor. So now, depending on how long your hamstrings are, you might be able to straighten the leg out as far as I am, or it might be a little bit more bent. To see if you can flex through the foot and stretch out through the heel, draw up through the front of your thigh so that you get the most of the stretch into the back of your thigh and your calf. All right, and then draw it in, and you're going to do the same on the other side. All the while, you want to make sure that your abdominals are engaged and that your hips are quote unquote grounded onto the foam roller. So flex the foot, draw up through the quadricep, through the front of your thigh, and feel that stretch into the back of your thigh. And let's go through this a few times. Just feel that extension up and that extension out. Good. And you'll feel the stretch into the front of your thigh and hip, into the psoas or hip flexor. Good. One more time each side. Good. Then pause there. Right? Flex and point the foot. Flex and point the foot. Flex and point the foot. One more time. Flex and point the foot. And then you're going to make as big circles, like a pointing and a flexing movement. And then reverse, go in the other direction. And all the while, try to stay with your breath. And then try to soften your jaw, your eyes, and your upper body. Pause, and then shift to the other side. Pause it there. So whether the leg is extended or bent, it doesn't matter. You just want to try to find the full extension of your leg, whatever the flexibility is, and then you point and you flex here. So you will feel the changes happening as you continue to do this. And then circle. Point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, and go in the other direction. Now you're moving around the ankle, but you might feel this still in your calf and in your hamstring, maybe even in your shin. Yeah, pause and then draw the knees in. Excellent. Now you can hold on to the foam roller to the side, and we're going to twist from the bottom of our ribs and gradually roll from side to side. And if you want to extend your legs or keep your legs a little bit bent, that's up to you. But you just basically want to roll from side to side and release any tension, any tightness in your upper glutes, your upper buttocks, and the outer parts of your buttocks. Right? You might even feel a little release into your middle back and your upper back here as well, as we're rolling a little bit side to side onto the shoulder blades. Yeah, so have fun with it. The abdominals are engaged. Always engaged. And then last one. Pause. Good. You might have to adjust yourself a little bit if you find that you're sliding down. Then hold behind your right thigh and then extend your left leg out. Try to flex the foot and see if you can lower the heel towards the floor as you draw your right knee in. Relax your shoulders down. Now, if you have a little bit more flexibility and you can take a hold of that right foot with the sole of your foot towards the ceiling, go for it. If you want to use a strap, if you feel like you can maintain the full extension from your heel to the crown of the head, go for it. Stretch your edge. All right, and then release and then shift. First, hold behind your thigh. Flex that right foot as you draw in through the left thigh towards your chest. Try to relax the right heel into the floor and you'll feel that deep stretch into your psoas there. And then again, if you can, take a hold of your left foot. If you have the flexibility, just take advantage of it or use a strap, but don't force yourself. Just notice how it changes as you keep doing this. Breath by breath, step by step, practice by practice. Good, and then slowly release. Ooh. Ground the feet back onto the floor. Root into the feet as the toes are lifted. Lift the tailbone up towards the sky and gradually lift yourself back up into that bridge pose. Slide the foam roller to the side and then roll yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Keep the abdominals engaged. Draw your knees in. Cup your hands around the knees. Draw the knees away and see if you can slowly roll yourself up to a seated position. Use a little momentum if you need that initially. So now we're going to sit onto the foam roller, onto our sitting bones, and use the abs and just roll a little bit back and forth onto your buttocks. Yeah, just back and forth a little bit. And if you need to use your hands, of course, feel free to stay on your fingertips and roll yourself back and forth. And feel free to shimmy a little. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Good. And then turn to your side, getting into the outer upper hip. And your top leg can be in front of you. You can go up and down along the IT band. And wherever you feel the tight spots, just try to pause there. And then bend and extend the leg. Or feel free to go a bit cross fiber, back and forth. So that way you get into the front of the thigh a little bit and the back of the thigh. So we try to cover as much ground here as we can. Good. Then we're going to turn around onto our abdomen and we're going to go back and forth for our quadricep, so the front of our thigh. So just adjust according to how you feel always. And then again, if you find any of those tight spots, you can pause there. You can go cross fiber. And then if it feels okay, you can even see if you can take a hold of the foot. Draw the heel towards the buttocks and you can try to roll it up and down a bit there. Scream and shout if you need to. Let it all out. Let it all out. Tension, tension, go away. Good. And then release that. I'm going to change it over to the other side. So the other outer upper hip first. And then go up along the IT band. See how this side feels. Feel free to go a bit cross fiber, just a little bit. Don't dig your way in, just move around. Pause. Good, and then turn around onto your abdomen, or kind of on your abdomen, facing down at least, and then go along the quadricep, the front of the thigh. Yeah, and rock and roll, rock and roll. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then when you find a tight spot, pause it there. If you want to bend the leg, you start to notice that when the tension releases and you've hydrated the fascia more, you'll gain much more flexibility. So what might not feel possible today, as you keep practicing, will eventually, hopefully, sometime in the future, be possible. All right? Try not to stay attached to that outcome. Just go for the moment. Do what you can do right now. Great. And release it. Ooh, yeah, my inner thigh, my quads are feeling pretty good today. How are yours feeling? All right, so now the inner thighs. So we lie on our side and we keep the top leg bent and we're rolling a bit side to side, covering the inner thigh. And I always feel that my inner thigh is tighter towards the knee, and I like to spend a little bit more time there. I like to go in and out, like an internal and external rotation. You see how my heel and my toes are moving. So I'm moving a bit cross fiber. That gets it a little bit deeper in for me. Good, but maybe you'll feel this a little bit more towards your groin. And if that is the case, just try to relax and soften and maybe go cross fiber. Good, and release. And let's shift it over to the other side. Trying to make this as effective as possible, moving swiftly, but not too fast. And of course, if you want to spend a little bit more time in any of these sections, you can always pause the video. You can memorize it and just do it on your own. It's just an offering to give you some inspiration, to see what's possible, to see what you can do. And then go cross fiber, and that same spot towards the knee on me is always the area where I feel the tightest. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. And if it's more towards the groin, go for it there. You can even bend and extend the leg up towards the groin like a froggy position. Notice how that feels. Or shimmy a little bit. And release. Ooh, yay! Nicely hydrated. Now let us stretch this out a little bit. You can come into a downward facing dog. You can start off with your heels off the floor, knees bent. Really press the floor away from you and think of drawing your chest towards your thighs and your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. And feel that your upper body weight is drawing back into the legs. And then you can pedal a little bit through the feet. Feel like you're moving from the ball of the foot to the heel. And as you draw the heel into the floor, try to lift your toes up off the floor. So that way you get some strength into the shins and you get a deep stretch
into your calves. And we're stretching each individual calf here. Now see if you can draw both of your heels towards the floor. And it's not important that your heels touch the floor. And then slowly step your left foot forward. Come on to your fingertips and lower the back knee into the floor. Point your foot. And come up into like a low lunge position. Okay, so you want to try to send your hips forward a little bit, lift your chest and roll your shoulders open. You can use your foam roller here, or you can use a yoga block. And the left arm is going to move to the side as the right arm reaches up. And you're going to bend a little bit to the side so that you'll feel a pretty deep stretch into your right hip flexor and the front of your thigh, as well as into the right side body. Good, and then release. And you shift your weight back as well as forward. And you can stay on your fingertips, keeping your chest lifted, and fold your way over your left thigh, getting that deep stretch into the back of your thigh and hamstring. Good, and slowly come back to a low lunge position and step it back into downward dog. Good, we'll shift it to the other side. So step the right foot forward, lower the back knee into the floor. You can point the foot and gradually come up. So roll your shoulders open and you'll feel that stretch into your left hip flexor there. And then extend the right arm to the side, lean over to the right as you reach that left arm up and over the left ear. And you'll feel that deep stretch into the whole entire left side of your spine there. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, and slowly come up and lower your fingertips to the floor and shift your hips back. Keep your chest lifted. You can flex the right foot and fold over your thigh. Try to make sure you don't hunch your way forward. Keep the chest lifted. So make sure that you also practice the upper body foam rolling routine together with the stretch, so that way you balance out the lower body as well as the upper body. Good, and then come forward to low lunge and step it into a downward dog. Excellent. Lower the knees into the floor, and now I'm going to face to the front. Going to extend my left leg to the side, flex the foot, lift the arms, and then bend it sideways. And I'm going to come up and go over to the right into a modified side plank. And from there, we're going to bend our left leg. Draw the heel towards the buttocks. So you'll get a deep stretch into the quadricep, into the front of the thigh. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Good, then slowly you're going to release the foot and lower your left leg next to the right leg and rest into a child's pose. And then withdraw, roll yourself up. And we're going to repeat this on the other side. So extend the right leg to the side, flex the foot, draw in through the lower belly, open the arms, and then bend it to the side. Good, so breathe in. So you get some hamstring here, you get a lot of side body. It's all working together. You get some inner thigh And then gradually come up and go over to your left. Lift your right leg, stretch the arm over, and then bend your right foot. Take a hold of the right foot and draw the heel towards your buttocks. Notice how it feels on this side. Notice how it feels on this side. Breathe in, breathe out. And slowly release the foot. Come into a child's pose again. And roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. I hope you feel good. Just extend the legs out. You can rest down onto the floor and notice how your lower body feels, even though we didn't really test them in the beginning. But now as you rest back, notice if it feels like there's a little bit more air. It feels a little bit more hydrated. It feels like there's a little bit more space. Maybe you'll be walking on a cloud for the rest of the day. Let me know. Draw your legs together, non-dominant leg in first, dominant leg in second. Cup the hands around the knees, lift your head, and roll yourself up. All right, that was it. I hope you feel good after this routine, foam rolling as well as a little stretching. Let me know in the comment box below. Thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with me how this felt, if this felt good or not. Have a great day. Namaste.